welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be filming a book review on A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Now, this book is so near and dear to my heart, you guys. Well, a lot of you guys know my favorite author is Sarah J. Maas, and I love her writing. I read all of her Throne of Glass books, and obviously I read the first book, ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, in her new series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm super pumped to review A Court of Mist and Fury for you guys, like right now. So, first of all, if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and you haven't started the series yet, or you just didn't think about picking it up, definitely do yourself a favor and go pick it up. If you don't know already, the premise of A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's a rough retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses is set in a fictional world. The main character's name is Feyre, and her family used to be really well. The dad, who was a merchant, lost all his money, and so now they live in a small little cottage on the edge of town, and they basically barely survive. Feyre is the only person in their family. She has two sisters and a dad, and her mom is not with them. She's the only person in the family who actually goes out and hunts for food. So basically she's like Katniss. Alright, but the thing is that the fictional world that Feyre is in is controlled by the fairies, alright? And the fairies have their own little world called Prythian. And it's set up in like multiple courts. The premise is that one day Feyre accidentally kills a fairy while she's hunting in the woods. And the fairy's disguised as like a wolf / like coyote thing. And so she doesn't know she killed it, and so she has to go to the Spring Court, which is near the border where she lives, right across the wall. She has to go to the Spring Court and serve a fairy named Tamlin, who's a high fae, which means he's the lord of this Spring Court. And so the first book, that's the premise. Now, if any of y'all have not read A Court of Thorns and Roses, please do yourself a favor and I will have spoilers in the rest of this video. We are now going to go into the spoiler-free Akamath review. So if you've read ACOTAR, stay here. We're gonna be spoiler-free for a little while for Akamath. Okay, so honestly, this book was phenomenal. I give it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was that amazing. I literally was blown away. Her world building is just phenomenal. Like, the Prythian is delved into more deeply in A Court of Mist and Fury, and we meet a bunch of new characters who you just cannot help but fall in love with. And then, as she is Sarah J. Maas, and she's amazing at this, we got plot twists galore in this book, and then, as sequels go, you know, a lot of people say that sequels suck because they're not as good as the original. This was so good. This is definitely my favorite book in the trilogy so far. And not just because I just said it's a good sequel, but because Feyre's character develops so much in these pages. You just can't help but relate with her. And it's just amazing. And like I said, there's plot twists at the end of the book, and just so many great things have happened, you guys. It blew me out of the water. I am so dying for the next book in this trilogy. And ironically, it comes out on May 4th of next year, which is Star Wars Day, if you all are nerds and follow that fandom. But I closed this book, and I was like, where is the next book? So for those of you who have read ACOTAR and have not read Akamath, please skedaddle, and then tune back in and watch the rest of this video after you read the book so we can fangirl about it. Okay, so in the beginning of the book, we follow Feyre as she deals with her PTSD under the mountain, and she's trying to get back to herself, but she can't because she keeps having nightmares of Amarantha, and she keeps crying, and like each night she's plagued with these nightmares, and obviously she vomits her guts up, and this whole PTSD was so it was well done. Like I said before, I was in her head the whole time. I related with her PTSD, and I'm so glad Sarah J. Maas included this in this book, because it's an important element, you guys. It makes it even more real for this character. Like, she was literally in hell, and she got out of it, and she survived, and it's just amazing. That was the first element of this book that I loved, and it was very well done. And like I said, I applaud Sarah J. Maas on all accounts. So, another thing that I thought was very well done was Tamlin. Tamlin's character arc throughout this book is just so mind-boggling, you guys. Like, it really is. Like, we see Feyre, and we think that Tamlin's there to protect her. He's her protector, he's gonna save her, he's gonna make her feel better, get her out of her PTSD. But what does he do? Absolutely none of that. He wants to marry her, but yet he keeps her in the manor with the servants while he goes out and just tries to figure everything out. What's going on in Prythian, how they can figure out, like, what to do next. And so he leaves, alright? And Lucien follows Tamlin's footsteps. He doesn't help Feyre. No, Lucien doesn't help Feyre. He doesn't help her get out of her PTSD. He doesn't help her convince Tamlin to take her places with him and whatever. So what does Feyre do? She's claustrophobic, alright? She's holed up in this man. She just needs out. And so it gets worse, alright? She's literally wasting away in this manner. And what does Tamlin do? He freaking locks her in the house. There's a shield, alright, that he puts up. And, no, she's not gonna be able to leave. She's not gonna get free. And so what does Rhysand do? He saves her. He gets her out of the house. He takes her to the Night Court. And, you know, as a reader, I'm sitting here going, Rhys is helping her? Like, what is this crap? Like, Rhys doesn't do these things. And, like, and, you know, you think that he's doing it for his own selfish purposes, and that's what you think for most of the book. But, honestly, when you look back at it, he was really trying to help her get out. And so she gets out, and she goes to the Night Court, and then the rest of the book is just her journey. She left Tamlin for real, and it's her journey with Rhys, and with his kind of extended family, and this set of characters that is just with her the whole rest of the book. And, you know, obviously then they find out that Hybern is inevitably putting war on them, or they're going to try and take over the other side of the wall and enslave the humans like they were before. And so Rhys finds this out. Feyre eventually heals from her depression and her PTSD, and she makes friends with Mor, who's Rhys's cousin. And just, guys, let's take a second. I love Mor. I adore her. I love Mor. And she's so, so kind to Feyre as she's healing. Okay, so Feyre heals. She learns to read. As you guys know, she was illiterate in the first book. And she learns to read. She comes out, and she goes with Rhys to Velaris, which Velaris, I love Velaris. There's this secret city no one knows about, and it's the High Lord of the Night Court of all people, okay? And he has this city, and she's like, it's so funny, because she's like, you're a good person? When did this happen? So that was funny. Once the book picks up, and she's in Velaris, and she agrees to work with Rhys, this is where things get really, really good. Okay, I literally couldn't put it down. Like, honestly, the whole thing was just plot, twist, plot, twist. It was a mishmash of stuff. So before I get into the plot twist, let's just talk about all of these amazing, amazing characters. So first, like I said, we have Rhys. And Rhys, it's so funny because, like I said, you think he's the dark guy. He's dark, he's brooding, he's whatever. You find out he's generous, and he took his friends who were like brothers to him, Cassian and Asriel, he took them in, even though they weren't, you know, like, royalty and whatnot, and he took them in, and they're his best friends now, and he risks everything for his people, and he was with Amarantha, he slept with Amarantha, he did all of these things to just save everybody. We turn out to love Rhys, and then we turn out to love the people that he holds dear, and we love Mor, who was just so kind, and she had a horrible past, and we love her and her extensive power, and her just love of life, and her fashion sense, and then, you know, we love Cassian, who, despite having a bad past, you know, he grew up with Rhys, and he fought alongside Rhys, and he's sarcastic, but he would do anything to just, you know, help anyone out like Rhys would. And Azriel's the same way. He's the quiet, brooding type. We don't know everything about Azriel, but we do know that he'd do anything for Mor. And we come to love that about him. So we come to love his relationship with Mor, and we totally, like, we were literally just like, okay, we ship it now. Like, let's ship it. Let's get this over with. Let's get them together. And the ship doesn't, I hope in the next book we see the ship grow, because I really want it to. And then it's so funny. Like, I can't help but love Amren. Like, I just can't. Like, Amren, we don't know what the hell she is, honestly. Like, she drinks blood, and that's basically all we know. But we love her because she is just so badass. Like, I mean, I want to learn more about her story. Like, I want to go into her head at one point. If we have a companion novella, that would be really cool, because that would be very interesting. But she is just so badass. It's beautiful, man. So we love Amren, and we love this whole crew of characters. So now what? Well, I just want to highlight briefly some parts of the book that I'm going to say, like, were my favorite. Like, before the plot twists at the end happen, I just want to highlight those parts, because I feel like they're very important, and I also want to know, like, down below in the comment section, if you guys have any, like, other, you know, other parts of the book that you loved, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Like, I really would. Okay, so, honestly, for me, my favorite really was, I loved the steamy romance element in this book. Like, let's just be real, guys. It just got so steamy, so fast, that I was just like, holy crap. This is young adult. We love Rhys and Feyre, and we ship it so much, you guys. And then it happens, and it's just great. But before we find out the amazingness of the mating bond, we get these little notes that they, like, have back and forth, and it's like a little texting thing. It's just so beautiful. Just the whole thing, Rhys, just his whole mask around her, just, it's so beautiful. It just, like, it falls away from him, and he's just himself, and it's just so good. And let me tell you, Sarah J. Maas, you are the master of literally building up this sexual frustration between Feyre and Rhys. So, and obviously, you guys, I swear to God, the steamiest part of this book was not when they mate bonded, okay? But it was on that throne in the City of Nightmares. So, now we're gonna get into the juiciest part of this novel, and that is the plot twists that happened towards the end and had you, like, dying, okay? And, like, it's just, oh my god. We get to Hybern, okay? The whole thing at the summer court happened, you know, with Tarquin, and that was sad that she had to leave him. And I really like Tarquin. I really do. I really like Tarquin. I think that he's a great character. I wish they would have been allies. Like, I know he was interested in Feyre for a little while, but, like, everyone knew that ship wasn't gonna happen, so. This whole thing happened, right? They're at the summer court. They almost drown, you guys, in this whole pit where they're looking for the Book of Breathings. And you're just sitting there like, oh my god, this can't be the end. She needs the other half. So they finally get it. Amren was so badass, okay? And she got her out of there. And wraiths come, and Amren's like, wow, you're lucky. You saved our ass. So that was hilarious. Backtracking a little bit, I loved the bone carver scene as well. Like, I know I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but I loved the bone carver scene. I thought it was really creepy that he showed up as, like, an 8-year-old boy, and Feyre's just like, I have to tell you all my secrets? And he's just like, yeah. So that was fun. The Weaver scene! When Feyre's like, alright, I can do this, I can track things, I can start my powers and everything. That was a significant moment, you guys. Because not only did she get Rhys's ring back, alright, she got the ring that he was going to give her at the end of the book. It was so perfect. Okay, so moving on to the whole thing with Feyre's sisters. Okay, Elaine kind of grew up a little bit. She was the one who kind of convinced Nesta to let Feyre use the house. I love how Cassian chewed Nesta out, literally chewed her out about Feyre, and was like, you put her through hell and back, and I'm not going to stand for that crap. That was great. And their whole attraction thing that's going on, genius. Seriously, that was fun. And so the queens come, and immediately you absolutely hate the young queen, and you hate the old queen too. Like, you literally hate the old queen. You're just like, okay, is she gonna die soon? What's going on? But then you actually end up liking the young queen, because then she gives them the book, and they're like, oh my god, right? And so you're just like, okay, so the book's here, what happens now? They go back to Valaris, and here's Amren being badass, killing all these things that are flying out of the sky while they're being attacked. The whole thing, great. Totally great. Amren kills all these people. Feyre's power finally erupts. We get to see it grow. It just manifests, and she's like, I'm killing all of you with my freaking water wolves, and it's gonna be great. And what does she do? She makes the water wolves, and she kills all these people. Let's talk about the Rhys captured scene right now, okay? Because this is just another moment for Feyre to be badass. Because they're flying in the sky, just random arrows pelt out of nowhere. Rhys drops. Feyre's like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. And then she's like, oh my god, I have to save Rhys. And just seeing his wings just on those chains up there, and the people around him from Highburn, and you just see him like dying of bloodbane, and you're just sitting there like, if he dies, everything's over. Everything is just over right now. Like, I was literally almost crying, you guys, because I was like, if Rhys dies, I am literally not gonna stop begging for him to be resurrected if he dies. Thank God he didn't die. So they fix him, and then, like, the whole thing at Highburn happens. They go to Highburn. The cauldron comes out, and it's not even, like, that big. It's like a bathtub. And you're just sitting there like, okay, don't put the books together. Don't put the books together. Say the thing and get the hell out so we can kill the king. And what happens? She freaking puts the freaking 2 books together. Both books. And it explicitly says not to do that. But what does she do? She does that. So then you're sitting there going, okay, so now what? Are we gonna get killed? Is the king gonna come out? King comes out. I was like, okay, this is it. They're all gonna die. The king's just gonna come out. Something's gonna happen, and then the next book is gonna happen. Because, you know, you look at the book and you're like, okay, there aren't that many pages left. Like, this is just gonna be, like, a thing. The king isn't the only one that comes out. Tamlin comes out, you guys, with Lucian. He comes out there. And you're like, Tamlin, why are you here? We already hate you, okay? Because not only did you kill Rhys's family, but you trapped Feyre in a freaking house, okay? And so you're like, all right, Tamlin, get out. This doesn't concern you. Like, just get out. But then at the part of the back of your head, you're just wondering, why is he here? Like, what is going on? And Tamlin comes, and he helped the king. And you're just like, you son of a... So, Tamlin me talk to you for a second, Tamlin, okay? If your ex-girlfriend sends you a letter and says, hey dude, I don't love you anymore, I love this other dude, so stay out of my life, thanks. You don't go to a rival, like freaking king, you don't go to him and say, hey, I'll help you out if you like, you know, like, help me get Feyre back. You do not do that! Literally, Tamlin, and Lucien doesn't even stop Tamlin, okay? And then it gets even crazier, you guys, because he brings out Nesta and Elaine. And you're just like, no, 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 no. And the queens are there. He's like, here, I'll prove to you that the cauldron can make you immortal. He dunks Elaine in the cauldron, and you're like, all right, Elaine's a goner. Elaine's gonna die because you know that the cauldron doesn't like let everyone be immortal. Okay, like she's totally gonna die. What happens? She lives. So you're just sitting there like, thank you for letting her live. And then you find out that she's bound to Lucien, and you're just sitting there like, what? No. Okay, so Elaine's good. That's fine. Yes, we hate that she's bonded, but then they throw Nesta in there, and you're like, all right, Nesta has a strong will, but she totally does not want to become immortal. Like, there's no way she's coming out of this cauldron. Like, nope, not happening. She comes out of the cauldron and she's fine. And you're just like, oh my god, she's a fae. Hopefully she can help with all of them out and just kill everyone. See, the most genius part of this book, and I think the most heartbreaking part, was when Feyre told the king to take away her and Rhys's bond. I thought the mating bond was gone! I literally thought. I said to myself, Jess, the mating bond, it's gone. He's gonna rip it off. She's gonna go back to Tamlin, and all this crap is just gonna be over. And it's just like, I don't want that. I don't want her to go back to Tamlin, okay? We hate Tamlin. We hope Tamlin is dead. Why would she go back with Tamlin? Bond's broken. She goes back with Tamlin. Then the genius part hits us. They still have the mating bond. The bargain that they made, that's the bond that was severed. And so now Feyre is back with Tamlin, and since Tamlin is helping the king, Feyre is now Rhys's personal spy. And so you hate the fact that she's back at the spring court, but you laugh like hell because you're like, haha, he's so stupid, he's not going to see this coming. So now you're like, what's going to happen in the next book? You know, she didn't nullify the cauldron. The cauldron's still there. Is Jurian, the jerky guy, he's still alive. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna find Miriam? Is Feyre gonna become even more badass because she now mastered her powers? I'm hoping that's gonna be the case. I'm really hoping. Hoping Feyre becomes more badass. Hoping she spies for Tamlin and things get resolved. But seriously though, Sarah J. Maas, you've created so much amazingness in this book that the final book in the trilogy has to be long, okay? Like, I'm not going to sit here and just read maybe 300 pages. I'm talking, If you want to write 1,000 pages, I will sit here and I will read every word. Because this needs to be resolved, like, now. Rhys is probably, the separation between him and Feyre is probably going to kill him. Hopefully he doesn't die. If he dies, I will not hear the end of it. Honestly, I hope Amren gets freed at some point, from her bond, because I feel like she kind of deserves it. I hope they rebuild Valaris and things like that get settled, but I want some craziness to go down with Hybern, and I want to see where Elaine and Lucien's bond leads, and also what happens to Nesta. Does Nesta fall in love with Cassian now that she's immortal? Does Varian come back for Amren? Because Varian likes her. But I can't wait till May 4th. Clearly, all of you, please pick up this series, read it, enjoy it, and I hope you guys are stoked for the next installment as I am. So if you like this video, please hit subscribe. I do a lot of book reviews. I'm going to start updating this channel more often. I said that last year and it didn't happen, but this year I really am, because books are my passion and I want to keep talking to you guys about it. If you guys have any suggestions down below about what other current books that you are reading that you want me to read, books you want me to review or like read and review, or if you have any questions about me and you want to request different things for me to just do videos on, please comment down below. Your feedback is so important to me. Please like, comment, and click that subscribe button, and also share with your fellow book lovers so that we can all fangirl together. I'm Jess, and thanks for fangirling.